You know when Jaws is lurking in the water, or his presence gets closer, and you get that dramatic music. And the closer he gets, the more dramatic and the more intense it gets. And the audience is not quite sure if he's going to attack or just float by or swim by, whatever it is. You know what I mean? There is a reason why the score, or the music, shall I say, sounds like that and not this. Because that's not the mood that the director wants the audience to be in. He wants them to be sitting on the edge of their chairs, biting their nails in anticipation. So, if you think that music, along with visual representation and subliminal messaging as well, included into that, has no effect on the psychological behaviour of people,
you really are crazy.
Even more so than I am.
You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
Recently, Lil Nas X released a track called Industry Baby. And because of copyright, I can't obviously play you the actual track, but I wanted to just show you some visual representation of the video itself and just kind of like give you a brief description of what's going on. As you can see, he's in prison in a pink jumpsuit, dancing around, performing what I would say sexual acts on the other prisoners. You know what I mean? Really? Considering this person is the one that's advocating for children's books not too long ago. Anyway. And last year, Cardi B released a track called WAP, wet arse, I'm not going to say the last word, in which she expressed how wet her cat can get, you know what I mean, while she is opening it up for everyone to have a look, you know what I mean. And then earlier this year, Gets, along with Stormy, released a track called Skengman. Yeah, and in Skengman, the visual representation, you can see a lot of guys running around with machetes and stuff and doing clownish behaviour, etc, etc. Yeah, but I won't go into much detail. You can find these videos online and have a look for yourself. And then to top it off, earlier this year, or was it this year or last year? Some time ago, I also did a video in which I expressed how if the N-word related to white people specifically, how many major radio stations and TV media outlets would
Shut it on!
Grime Daily,
Shut it on!
Capital One Extra and One Extra itself, yeah.
Cocksucker Nazi. Fuck you.
Now, before I continue, I would like all you right-wing nationalists in your conservative, I won't say that word, to please
Shut the That's right. Oh.
And hear what I'm saying before you come with that same old claptrap victim mentality nonsense.
A victimhood mentality. And again, this isn't people's faults, but a lot of people in this country are taught that they are going to be held back because of the color of their skin.
Shut the
Many moons ago, Dave Chappelle, when he was doing Dave Chappelle's show, did a skit, or a sketch, should I say. And in this sketch, he explores the different ways that people respond to different types of music. And he went on along the lines of what white people respond to.
It's just that they like certain musical instruments. That instrument, my friends, is electric guitar. It speaks directly to the soul of the white person.
And also what black people respond to.
Let's see how the blacks respond to drums. Questlove, go.
And he also went on to imply or describe how they react to that music as well.
Let's see how the conservative crowd acts when they hear guitar music while they're eating.
Jump. Play the fight riff. Play it. These people are going, look at him. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my gosh. I've never seen anything like this, folks.
Now, what's this got to do with Lil Nas X, Cardi B, and Stormzy and Getz, you might ask? And for me, it's the correlation between this and this.
Call police, mate. Call the police. Someone else call the police. Sam, I'll call you back.
And this. Now, for me, the music that's being portrayed or being elevated to the top of the billboards or being pushed in front of your YouTube #1s and the artists that are getting, like I said, elevated.
Where are the white killers on the radio? Where are the white AK-47 shooters? Where are the white drug dealers?
This is not by accident. And I'd go as far as to say that it is purely by design. Yeah? And by design by
The man!
And it's being used as a psychological weapon against the black community, in which it affects not just my generation, the people younger than me, but it goes right down to our children, as our children tend to mimic the ignorant black folks who, let's say, they're enjoying the music and not really thinking about the implications of what the music and what it's being hidden in the music as a trojan, you know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of black girls are emulating black women's behavior.
As they only focus on the artist, looking at that artist, thinking that, well, the artist is successful and in the money, and foolishly believe that because Cardi B sat down with Joe Biden, or that because Stormzy, you know, he came on stage and shouted out F Johnson, somehow this makes them important. These artists, for all in purpose, are nothing more than just what I would say industry puppets, right? And as Lil Nas X said in his title of his latest song, industry baby, and I doubt he meant that in the way that Austin Powers says it.
Yeah, baby.
As over the years, and over the decades, should I say, not even years, but decades, black people have been studied.
Have you solved it, Professor Einstein?
Not quite yet, but the beast is cowering, that's for sure.
As to what makes us tick. And for me, music is what I would say is the vessel in which all manners of can be carried in. So the lyrics behind the song and the visual representation, yeah, as black people are enjoying the music and getting down with the beat and enjoying that track sounds sick, yeah, the message or whatever's being said lyrically or the imagery on top of the screen, that is also being, let's say, pumped in, you know what I mean? But the main part that the black people are, let's say, tuned into is the sound.
Man! Hell no! No!
And these little Trojan horse messages are slowly being drip, 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 drip.
The general is under the influence of a psycho-hallucinogenic drug.
You know what I mean? So that over time...
It's a mind control drug, sir. Very powerful, very easy to use.
Psychologically, this, in my opinion, that is, does have that effect.
You know, with something like that, the man could control every black person in America.
Whatever the agenda is or whatever portrayal that the powers that be want to make.
To be efficient, you need to develop a huge distribution system. The chicken!
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that music has to be all serious and all political and all these things here. I'm not saying that we can't enjoy music and it can't be silly every now and then. You know what I mean? And it can be about wet ass, this, that, and the other. And, you know, if you're, you know, gay or you want to express your homosexuality in your music, fine. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to do that. And if you want to represent the streets, you know what I mean, as in what's going on the streets, then sometimes, you know what I mean, it can be done in a tactful way. You know what I mean? The issue that I had with the Get song, to be honest with you, was was more necessarily the fact that the way that it's presented, it's more, you know, if you're trying to encourage people not to, as what they would argue, that, oh no, I'm just representing the streets, I'm telling kids what not to do, and got a funny way about doing it. You know what I mean? Because it seems to be more, let's say, glorifying it than anything else. Because again, the music that is being used is hype. You know what I mean? These, let's say, visual representation should not become the norm. Yeah, if I'm not too late.
I knew this could happen.
Because as we're seen dancing, enjoying ourselves, having a party, having a drink, just generally having a good time, whilst that music is playing, other groups will also listen to the music, but they're also paying attention to what's being seen and what's being said. Yeah? And whilst we as black people may be just ignorantly listening to the music for entertainment's sake, other groups will be looking at us and going, so they condone that kind of behavior. Oh, that's what they're really about. And they will use that as a way of passing judgment, or they will include it in the way that they pass judgment upon us. And for me personally, this is something that we have to be very mindful of. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You know, it got a lot of people saying, well, I don't really care, but this is the reason why you should care. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I says, we might not just, you might be listening to a track and it's got a lot of violence in there, or, you know, the woman's throwing it about all over the place. And you might just think, it's just a track, but the beat's heavy. Other groups will look at it and they will take it at face value. And be looking at, yeah, see, I told you that's what they're all about. Yeah, see, look, they enjoy it, look. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they'll formulate judgment. And hence, they're celebrating, and hence they look at us as in celebrating the...
But we are unique in that we are the only people that fight and scream and demand support and justice for the people in our community that are up to no good.
Shut the And that's all I wanted to say today in this video. And don't forget to do the usual, and that is to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment in the post below. You know what I mean? As I do read all the comments when I can, and for those that do come through, because I get a lot of people saying, oh, I'll get a lot of alerts on my iPhone saying that, oh, so-and-so's comments come up, and then when I try to respond to it, I can't for whatever reason. You know what I mean? That's not on my end. Yeah, because I do not delete or block any comments. You know what I mean? But anyway, as I said, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.